Today we will talk about addition of whole numbers. First, we will review a couple of properties. The first one is commutative property. What that property allows addition to do is to change the order of addition. In other words, when you're adding two numbers, you can add 3 to 2 or 2 to 3, doesn't matter. The second property is associative property. That property allows you to group two of the three numbers that you're adding. Let's say I'm adding 2, 3, and 4. I can add 2 and 3 first and say 5 plus 4 is 9. Or I can add 3 and 4 first, say 7 plus 2, 9. The other property is the property of 0. That one allows you to add 0 to any number, and that's not going to change the result. That's sometimes called the identity property as well. Now let's start by adding a couple of numbers. The commutative associative property allows you to do certain things a little bit easier. Let's say I'm adding horizontally, and I'm adding these three numbers. It may be easier to add 7 and 3 first. That gives me 10, and then add 1 to it, 11. That is one little trick you can do. If you're writing it vertically, it's the same thing. For example, I'm adding three numbers. It may be easier to add 8 and 2 first and say 10. Another 3 is 13. Now, the other trick might be when you're adding numbers is to round them to estimate them. For example, if I'm adding 22 and 28, 12 and 28, you can round these to the nearest tens and in your head, and that will give you 10, and this one will give you 30. So you know your answer is going to be in the order of around 40. So when you do the actual addition with carrying, 8 plus 2 is 10. You put the 0 and carry 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 2 is 40. Then you can actually, this just is a coincidence. You can actually check your answer. Let's do another one where they don't turn out the same. This one rounds to 10. This one rounds to 30. When you estimate it, you get 40. But when you do the actual addition, 8 plus 3 is 11. You carry 1 plus 2 plus 2, 4. So they ended up different, but they are close to each other. So you can do those mentally to see if your operations are correct. Let's try to add 3-digit number with another 3-digit number. This one doesn't involve carrying. So you line up the ones, the tens and the hundreds, and add one at a time. 8 plus 1, 9. 2 plus 2, 4. 3 plus 1, 4. Let's do another one that is going to involve some carrying. Eight plus 8 is 16. You carry 1. 8 plus 2, 10. 1 more, 11. You carry 1. 3 plus 1, 4. Plus 8, 12. And then just show your answer with the comma, the way we learned before. 3 groups of 3, and then a comma. 1,216. When you estimate using rounding, you get 300 and 900, and that gives you 1,200. So you know your answer is supposed to be in that vicinity. Now let's do another one. Let's say I have a 5-digit number. I'm adding a 4-digit number to it. 5 plus 2, 7. 8 plus 4, 12. Carry 1. 3 plus 1, 4. Plus 2, 6. 6 plus 2, 8. Nothing, 1. 3, 18,627. An application of addition might be calculating the perimeter, and I'll do a very quick example of that. Let's say you have a rectangle that has 5 feet on this side and 3 feet on the other side. If you are calculating the perimeter shown by P, what you need to do is you need to add all these sides to get the perimeter. Start with one side and go counterclockwise. 5 feet plus 3 feet plus another 5 feet plus another 3 feet. Add them left to right. Now you can ignore the feet at this point. Make sure those units match. So this problem became 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3. Using the associative property and commutative property, you can group them to make life easier on yourself. 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 3, 13, plus 3, 16. When you do that kind of problem, word problem, make sure you put the units in there at the end of your calculations.